the bumper of a BMW. So I, being me, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I yell out the window. The guy we'll refer to as Tony. Tony gets out of his car and comes over. What are you, stupid? He yells at me. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is my first time on the road. I'm so sorry. I'm 16. You know, I'm driving very carefully in the duck, this dilapidated gold car, and he's driving his BMW. And he goes, were you even looking in front of you? What are you, stupid? No, I'm not stupid. Said I'm sorry. Would you like me to slice a vein and write it in blood? So, I know, I really think you're stupid, lady. You're freaking stupid. And I'm selecting my words here because that wasn't the word that he used. So I finally kind of got a little aggravated. I'm like, you know what, Tony? I'm not sorry. What do you think of that? The East Boston come right out of me. North Shore girl, you can't take the East Boston out once it's in. If you grew up there, you know what I mean. The big fluffed hairdo at the time I was smoking. You know what, Tony? I'm not sorry. Why don't you get in your car and drive to the pizza place you were going to, all right? And leave me alone. I know. I tend to get loud. So, as a teenager, there really wasn't much to do. I was a little bit crazy looking, you know, shaved head, lots of eye makeup. And my best friend at the time, Sarah, she was about 4 pounds soaking wet holes in a boulder. I mean, she was this tiny little thing, and I'm 5'9". She's about 5'2". And we had to find some form of entertainment because there's just nothing. There was nothing to do. Unless you wanted to get drunk or do stuff like that, we weren't into it. There was really nothing to do. So Sarah and I in the duck, the dilapidated car, we would decide to just make our own fun. And so we'd pile ourselves into the car with props. A lot of the times I'd wear a wig or some kind of crazy hat. Now this really happened. And she would wear a big blonde, long blonde wig and kind of scrack it up, you know, so it looked like she just rolled out of bed, and this big hat that I had. And her mother, who was rather eclectic, very intelligent, and just nuts, a little bit nuts in a good way, loved her mother. She had all these crazy props. So we decided that it would be a good idea to just drive through Boston and act a little bit crazy. This was our entertainment. So we're going through the tolls one day over the Tobin Bridge, and she gives me a giant red velvet turban, a huge jewel hanging in the middle, and she has on the crazy wig and the hat. So we drive, oh boy, this is technical difficulty here. Bear with. Okay, good to go. And so Sarah and I pull up to the toll. I in my turban and her in her cap. No, I in my turban and her in her crazy hat and wig. And so we would turn to one another, and she'd grab my head and she'd go, oh, and she'd start vibrating, and I would respond in kind. Oh! So they're the two of us grabbing our heads, me in the turban, her in her hat, and she would say, it is coming to me. They want you to pay 50 cents. 50 cents. So I would turn to the guy or woman in the toll booth and say, we have established that you want me to pay 50 cents. Am I correct? So it was kind of like a moving sideshow. And a lot of the time, just because we made the guy or lady laugh, they let us in for free. We learned to milk that. Entertaining people, they let us, you know, at the time the Tobin Bridge was 50 cents. So this was long ago, not to date me or age me. But so we take our act into Kenmore Square. That was always fun. One of the best things I can remember, besides just yelling out ridiculous things, we had to create our own fun, you know, was when you're in the middle of Kenmore Square in the dilapidated car, roll down the window and ask very politely where Kenmore Square is. So this would be my big thing, and I would, you know, play like the straight man without the chirping. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Can you please tell me where Kenmore Square is? And he'd say, "Wait, you're in Kenmore Square." So, anticipating this, of course, Sarah would have one of her crazy wigs and hats on, and she would physically crawl over me and stick her head out the window with this crazy look. She looked like a drunken pirate. And if she sees this, she'll appreciate this. And she would say, "Why I oughta, you son of a, I oughta slap you, you liar, you're lying to me, you son of a, I oughta kill you." And I'd say, Mom, she's trying, you know, he's trying to help us. And the person would just say this, just completely stunned. Because out of nowhere, he's giving directions. Then this lunatic, you know, with the like, looks like he had a glass eye, the crazy hair and giant hat. "You son of a, I gotta get out of this car and kill you!" You know, and that was always a good time. We would definitely go home laughing, which was important. So Sarah, if you're seeing this, I love you. That's a good memory. Another thing that happens. My friend Heather and I had a standing date, rain, shine, sleet, or snow. We would visit J.P. Licks once a week, J.P. Licks in Brookline, and we would get a very specific ice cream flavor with hot fudge included. There were no 0% this, sugar-free that. We wanted the real ice cream, we got the real ice cream. And at the time, we weren't paying attention to diet commercials, we still don't. But you know those, the diet commercials? "You've got ugly fat on your hips, thighs, and belly." I was just watching TV, why are you accosting me? I didn't think the ice cream was that bad, you know? And you know what I'm talking about, the commercials that actually yell at you for eating real food. That's a whole nother show. So in any case, Heather and I, "You've got ugly fat on your hips, thighs, and belly." I had to reiterate the ridiculousness of that particular commercial. So Heather and I would go to J.P. Licks to get our full fat ice cream with hot fudge. Thank you very much. And like I said, rain, sleet, snow, or shine, it was going to happen. So I was having a particularly bad night. My car wasn't starting. It was raining out. I was determined to get my sweet cream and hot fudge. So I'm driving. I finally get the car started, obviously. And I'm driving toward Heather's house to go get her. So we'd have our standing date. And I'm driving. And there's a lunatic behind me. And this has happened to all of us. So, of course, I don't like a bully. So I just kind of slow down a little bit, maybe to about the nice crawl, 14, 15 miles an hour. And the car starts going in the wrong lane, in the opposite lane, and actually passes me and then stops. So I'm like, okay. And then so I kind of go around him where there are parked cars. He's acting really, really crazy. So we're driving still, and he's right behind me. I mean, he is kissing my fender. I'm not happy about this at all. So finally I stop at a red light, and my window happened to be, just cracked open, just driving like a normal person. And I'm looking behind me going, there's something not right with this guy. So I'm stopped. I'm there at the red light waiting.